Hey guys, welcome to 𝑽𝒊𝒐𝒍𝒆𝒕. Today we got Bushido Barb featuring the new Kingambit from Scarlet and Violet with a super cool leadership ability allowing to do 30 more damage for your basic Pokemon's attacks done to your opponent's active Pokemon. So we're playing this for our Qwilfish, helping us do more damage with our Poison Jab, with also our single strike energy for the damage boost, with our Choice Belt and also Defiance Band to add even more damage done with our single strike Pokemon. We are also playing Karen's Conviction as well, helping us do more damage for each prize card our opponent has already taken. So we're doing 20 more for each prize card they've taken, and that actually allows us to hit big damage late game for a huge knockout using nothing but Poison Jab. We also have the Bursting Needles ability, a very important ability that allows you to place 6 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon each time they knock out your Qwilfish with damage from an attack. So if they choose to do a boss to kill off your Kingambit, it's still okay because we actually get to attach a lot more single strike energy onto the same Qwilfish. For us to hit, we have 4 copies, so we actually get to hit a lot more damage on the next turn if they choose to do a boss to knock out any other Pokemon on the bench. Eventually they have to deal with the Qwilfish, and if they do, we got 6 extra damage counter in the game. We actually get to do more damage with this ability as well, in addition to our single strike combo and also our stage 2 ability. So that's super awesome. We also have our Bibarel to draw out our Karen's Conviction, so we get to play it late game. We even have our Arven and Serena for the draw spot, helping us search for our tool card. We're also playing 1 Experience with 3 Dark Patch for us to attach the extra energy. Since Qwilfish requires 2 colorless for Poison Jab, we also can attach our double turbo for Qwilfish to attack, but it is doing 20 less damage though, so we really want to be attaching our double turbo for Sneasler or even our Kingambit to attack. Be sure to remember though that Kingambit cannot use his own ability for itself, just because the leadership ability only allows you to do 30 more damage for your basic Pokemon's attacks, and that means you're only doing 140 damage if you play double turbo with your Kingambit. But having an extra optional attacker is always a big plus for any deck. It adds an element of surprise that gives you that flexibility for the deck, helping you attack with even a support Pokemon. So if we use it at the right time, obviously we want to be using this attack only at the last minute, since we want to be keeping Kingambit alive for as long as possible for us to use his ability to do more damage with our basic Pokemon's attacks. So if we use it at the right time though, at the last minute, we could actually collect the knockout against any V-Star or VMAX Pokemon, since we have already built up so much damage with our ability and also the damage boost using our single strike combos. We would eventually be able to kill it quite easily with our stage 2 Pokemon's attack for a surprise knockout. So circling back to our Dark Patch, we need Beach Court for the free retreat so that we get to attack on the same turn after attaching the extra energy, since we're only allowed to attach from the discard pile onto one of our bench Darkness Pokemon with this item. We also have 1 Escape Rope for the switch, 1 Rescue Carrier to retrieve our Qwilfish so that we get to attack more times, 1 Pokegear to dig for our Karen's Conviction or even Arven and Serena, our regular cyber cards for the basic summon and also for the evolution search, 1 Manaphy for the bench barrier, and finally 1 Spiritomb to do ghostly cries, placing damage counters on opponent's Pokemon in any way we like, equal to the number of Pokemon in their discard pile. So we actually get to collect the knockout against any low HP Pokemons after building up the damage with our Qwilfish using the poison effect and also its ability for the extra damage counters. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game versus Dialga V-Star. So for this deck, we get to play around with our single strike Qwilfish. Its ability actually allows us to place 6 damage counters on our opponent's active Pokemon if they knock out our active Qwilfish, with damage from an attack. They actually get punished by not just our ability but also the poison effect. We get to play Radiant, Hisuian, Sneasler to punish them for 3 damage counters during Pokemon checkup. If they don't switch their Pokemon, we got extra damage counters in the game. With the poison effect, we got extra damage with our single strike energy, with our Karen's Conviction, and also our stage 2 Kingambit's ability, giving us 30 damage boost to our basic Pokemon's attack. So we're playing a lot of cards to help us add the damage that we're doing bit by bit, giving us more and more fuel, more and more power as the game progresses, helping us do bigger and bigger damage. So it's kind of like the damage potential for this deck is swelling or escalating bit by bit, turn after turn. It's a ticking time bomb, and if your opponent underestimate your ability or the poison effect, they may not expect a knockout at some point in the game. So they may not be expecting Bursting Needles to actually give you the knockout on their Pokemon. If they keep on doing damage, if they keep on knocking out your active Qwilfish, you could actually rely on the ability alone to basically knock out their active Pokemon, because we are placing 6 damage counters each time they kill our active Qwilfish. Obviously, they're going to run out of their bosses, their escape rope, so eventually they have to deal with our Qwilfish, and if they do knock it out, they have to get punished for it. If they don't switch, they get punished by the poison. So there is a lot that they have to think about. We also get to play our Defiance Band to add damage, helping us do 30 more if we have more prize cards remaining. So it's actually kind of relevant just because we would not be able to draw prize cards that early, and that means Defiance Band is kind of perfect for Qwilfish. But eventually though, you're going to be able to kind of counter them back and balance out the prizes by drawing, by doing big knockouts with your Karen's Conviction. So early game, if you get your Arven, make sure you play it for Defiance Band, because Choice Belt is going to help you late game after you counter the prize. If you have less prize cards than your opponent, you should not be playing Defiance Band anymore, because it does not work if you have less prize. It also doesn't work if you have the same number of prize, by the way, so you have to be very careful with that. That's the reason we only have one copy. So anyways, let's get back to the game. So right now we have our Bibarel Skwovet for the draw system, and we are attacking with our Qwilfish for our first knockout. So they got Dialga on the bench, but not enough energy to play Star Chronos just yet. So I think they're gonna do Metal Coating first. Or if they're lucky, they could actually pull off a Rare Candy evolution right now, while also digging for the V-Star evolution, helping them play Giga Magnet, and also do Star Chronos on their second turn. It is a lot though. They not just need to play the stage 2 evolution, they also need to evolve the Dialga and get enough energies in the game. So Magnet Zone only allows you to look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of metal energy you find there onto your Pokemon in any way you like. It's only the top 6 cards of the deck, and if you are playing so many cards, so many ways to search for the rare candy, if you have so many evolutions in a deck, for a stage 2 deck and also a V-Star deck, you need so many evolutions and, consistency cards to make the deck work for you to be able to pull off a turn 2 rare candy evolution. That means you are not able to fit in that many energies for you to attach that many copies onto the Dialga on the second turn. So I honestly don't think it's that easy to pull off Star Chronos on the second turn. You gotta be extra lucky though, because you not only need to attach from your hand, you also need at least 3 from the top 6 card of the deck. 3 from the top 6 is a lot. Like, it may not seem like much, but it's actually half of the deck though. 3 out of 6 is 50%, and that means you need to fit in 30 energies out of 60 cards in the deck, and if you have 30 energies in a Dialga V-Star deck, you would not be that likely to play Rare Candy Evolution on your second turn. You would not be that likely to bench that many cards that fast in the game, unless if you're playing Miraidon. Miraidon doesn't get your Dialga though. I honestly don't understand people who play Miraidon with Dialga V-Star. I mean, it helps you bench the Magneton a lot faster, the Magnemite, my bad, but it doesn't help you bench the Dialga. Dialga is not an electric Pokemon. You still need your VIP Pass Nest Ball for Dialga. You still need some way to bench your Dialga on the first turn. If you don't bench the Dialga, you can't evolve on the second turn to play Star Chronos. Obviously, if you play one copy, it's fine just because it helps you bench the Magnemite and also possibly a Rotom for the extra draw support. But I feel like Radiant Greninja is good enough. Radiant Greninja helps you discard, possibly play Metal Coating on your first turn if your opponent doesn't play like a Miraidon. If they do Miraidon, they can quite easily play Raikou to knock out your Dialga first turn already if they go second. So you can't really play Metal Coating without expecting your opponent to do a knockout on your Dialga V-Star, having in the active spot passing the turn. It's very risky. So it's obviously better to aim for the Rare Candy evolution, and having Rotom allows you to do that a lot faster. But Rotom is a, V card. Obviously, if your opponent plays a boss, you are losing 2 quick prizes for it as well. It has very, very low HP. Even with Charm of Courage coming out for the next set, it doesn't make sense for players to play Charm of Courage in the Dialga V-Star deck, since that tool only works on a basic Pokemon. So Dialga V-Star can't really benefit from that tool card, and that's the reason I say, Charm of Courage doesn't really fit in for a Dialga V-Star deck, and Rotom having low HP is a huge problem. I honestly don't see the value of playing Miraidon in a Dialga V-Star deck. But hey, everyone's doing it, so let's just follow the damn crowd, right? Let's just follow everyone blindly like a fucking goat. Let's do that, everyone. Let's be a fucking idiot. Haha. So we got a double turbo. We actually played Hackett early in the game. because they trapped us with the boss. So I did a boss on our Kingambit, somehow expecting we were playing a Beach Court. We only have one Escape Rope for this deck, so we have no switch cards. The only switch option is Escape Rope and Beach Court, and Beach Court doesn't work obviously on our Stage 2 Pokemon, so we kind of are forced to attach energies onto the active Kingambit to attack with it and, you know, wait for them to knock it out, or dig for the switch card that single Escape Rope in a deck with our Arven or even Bibarel. So obviously playing Beach Court is a huge risk if you are running an evolution deck. If you have even one supporting evolution on your bench, it's actually a huge risk. Because if they pull a boss on you at the right time with a control deck, for example, you would be totally screwed. So Beach Court does help though, just because we have our single energy retreat cost Sneasler and Skwovet to help us substitute as the decoy for us to attach the extra energy with our Dark Patch before attaching the second copy of energy from our hand, so that we get to satisfy the attack cost for us to attack with Poison Jab using Qwilfish for only 30 damage. But if we have single strike energy though, we are doing more damage. If we have our Sneasler on the bench, we're doing placing extra damage counters with the poison effect every single Pokemon checkup. We also are doing more damage with Karen's Conviction and also Bursting Needles with Leadership for the damage boost as well. As I keep saying, I'm repeating all of the effects that add damage for Poison Jab, eventually giving us a surprise knockout on their Pokemon, winning us free prizes at the end of the game, especially with Karen's Conviction and Bursting Needles. Those two, they're gonna have to watch out for that. If they are not careful, those could actually earn us free prizes. So we won against Dialga V-Star. Let's move on to the next one. So now we're up against an Electric Box with Raikou V and Flaffy. They don't have Miraidon though. I'm not sure why. They could have it in the deck, and they may just be getting the VIP or something else instead. But if they have Miraidon, they would quite likely to be able to get it on the first turn. I mean, it is a new card after all. It has a high likelihood of showing up early in your hand. For some reason, all new cards do. So I'm pretty sure they don't have it. They may not be playing it in their deck, but they have Rotom though. They got Rotom for the draw support, potentially for the attacker as well. They could be playing a Rotom V-Star deck with Flaffy. They have a couple different electric Pokemons as well, which is kind of interesting. And this guy is actually in the Greninja League, so it's obviously not a rookie deck. Okay, we got our Skwovet in the active. Now we're just gonna have to dig for our Bidoof and Qwilfish. So make sure you bench your Qwilfish early. Even if you don't need to evolve it, you still need to attach energy onto it. And we got only one Double Turbo, which doesn't actually work for... We don't really want to be attaching the Double Turbo onto your Qwilfish because you're doing 20 less damage with it. You kind of want to play Double Turbo for either Sneasler to attack or even your Kingambit. So Double Turbo works for those cards just because they have double colorless cost with a darkness, and that means you can actually hit 90 damage with your Sneasler. If you have you know, Defiance Band or Choice Belt on it, you can hit 100 damage with the Double Turbo attached. So not really doing that low damage. If you have it attached to Qwilfish though, you're only doing 10 damage with it. That's how bad Double Turbo is sometimes. I kind of miss Twin Energy for one price decks. I mean, who doesn't, right? But there's gonna be, you know, Reversal Energy, which everyone is so hyped about for the next set, Poly Evolve. Reversal is gonna be replacing all of those, you know, double colorless, twin, counter energy, all of those, you know, triple acceleration as well. They're gonna replace that, you know, the twin element of the game by bringing in, you know, bringing back the Scramble Energy all the way back from, you know, the very, very early sets of Pokemon TCG. Scramble Energy is actually has exactly the same effect as Reversal, except it's a really, really old card for Porygon. So Reversal obviously is quite terrible in a sense that there are a lot of restrictions. You only are able to play it onto Evolution, non-rule box Pokemons, and it only serves as triple rainbow if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent. Anyways, back to the game. So we're gonna do Ultra Ball for the Bibarel. We don't have a Qwilfish on our bench yet though. Oh, they just knocked out the Qwilfish. They just did a boss on the last turn. They got punished by Bursting Needles, but we actually lost the energy though. So that's not a good thing, is it? We lost the energy. We didn't get a Beach Court this turn, so we're not actually able to attack right now. I'm not sure if we should be playing the Dark Patch that early, because if they play another boss, we're totally screwed. I don't think they're gonna do it 2 turns in a row, but if they are lucky enough to play another boss, we're done. I'm not sure how to recover from that, because we're losing our Dark Patch as well. Like, we don't have that many copies to spare. We got 1 experience share, 3 Dark Patch, and that's it. So always be careful not to waste your resources. If you know you don't really have that much to spare, we should not be playing our Dark Patch that early, honestly. We should be keeping it in our hand to attach on the next turn, to play it on the next turn onto another Qwilfish. But Skwovet is dying though. Skwovet is gonna get knocked out, so I feel like that could have been the better decision. If they don't play the boss, you never know what they're gonna do, right? If they play an Escape Rope, then we are kind of forced to play, put the Bibarel in the active. If we put Bibarel in the active though, we get to attack with our Qwilfish on the next turn, but then we lose our draw support. We lose our draw engine. That's the reason why I play so many VIPs Nest Ball in my deck, is because if you have a good start early game, and if you set up your bench fast, it's gonna help you a lot in the long run. It's gonna make a huge difference. Like, honestly, consistency and a good setup is all it takes to win a game sometimes. Obviously, you should focus on your combo and strategy, but consistency goes a long way. Like, everybody knows that consistency goes a long way. And that's why, you know, the deck list does matter. Your gameplay obviously has to be, you know, has to be flawless, but the deck list also, the deck build, like how many copies of each card you have in the deck, it matters a lot. It kind of determines what you would get at you know, at some point in the game. If you don't get your Serena, if you don't get your support card, for example, you got Bibarel to draw cards, you're fine. If you don't get your rare candy, you got Arven to search for it. If you don't get your single strike energy, you got Dark Patch. So you kind of have to think about what cards to substitute for which. If you don't get this, at least you got that to substitute for it. You're fine, right? So you kind of have to be very smart with what to add in the deck and what to substitute for which card. So now we're getting stuck with a dead hand. We got 2 rare candies and a VIP, another Bibarel, and no way of discarding those trash cards. What are we gonna do? No Skwovet anymore because they just killed it on the last turn. Or one of our previous turns, my bad. We unfortunately didn't get our Ultra Ball though. If we get the Ultra Ball, we actually get to evolve the Kingambit for extra damage, knocking out the Zeraora right now for an extra prize. Because all we need is 30 more damage. So we did only 50 damage with our Poison Jab, plus 3 damage counters from the Poison effect thanks to our Sneasler's Poison Peak ability. And all we need is 30 more damage. How sad is that? So I don't think we need the Manaphy. We're just going to discard it. They played an Avery. I don't see any bench snipe cards, but they could be playing Jolteon VMAX or anything. You never know what they're going to pull off. Even a Regieleki Terra Spark. Because they got a Flaffy on the bench. Only 1 Marib though. They kind of need 2 Flaffies to, you know, attach enough energies for them to play Terra Spark in a single turn. Unless if they play Raihan. You never know what they have in their deck, so you kind of have to be prepared always for anything. But honestly, I don't think Manaphy has much value for this game. It's just an instinct. So always trust your gut. Listen to what it says. It doesn't 100% works. But most of the time, you know, it kind of guides you in the right direction. So we got no more Skwovet. Let's just bench another Pawniard. I honestly don't think it's a good idea to do that though. I feel like benching a second Bidoof would be better. Because we have a Bibarel in our hand. I don't think we need the next Kingambit. Oh, we actually got it from the prize though. So for this game, we're actually able to pull off double leadership for 60 extra damage boosts. So 60 extra damage for all of our basic Pokemon's attacks. Since we have 2 Kingambits in play, we get to do 60 extra damage with Poison Jab. How cool is that? 60 extra damage plus 20 more for each prize card you have taken if we play Karen's Conviction, plus 20 more for each single strike energy we have attached to our Qwilfish. And we also get to add the damage counters from the Poison effect using our Sneasler. So if they play Avery on this turn, it would be quite terrible. Because we kind of are forced to discard the Bibarel and one of the Pawniards, obviously, because we want to be keeping our Qwilfish. We have that Rescue Carrier though, so we shouldn't be really too worried. We got Carrier to revive our Bidoof or the Pawniard if we want. So they do have a Miraidon, okay. They actually do have the Miraidon. They just didn't get it early game. That's pretty funny. They have Miraidon Ilaki, but they're playing kind of a different mix. They got the Toxtricity. They got, I think it's from Scarlet and Violet as well. They have Rotom, potentially the V-Star. And they also have Zeraora for extra damage against their opponent's evolution Pokemon, with also the VMAX ability to, you know, boost its potential, its damage potential. So we got our Rare Candy for the second Gambit, and now we're actually doing a knockout on another V Pokemon. Thanks to Bursting Needles, we even have our Defiance Band adding 30 more damage for Poison Jab. We're adding 90 base damage for the basic Pokemon attack, hitting up to 140 damage without Karen's Conviction. How crazy is that? We didn't got Karen, but we actually get to pull off another V knockout. If they play a V-Star though, we kind of need a little bit more damage than that. So we need to fall back on our supporter. We have one Pokegear to dig for it as well. So for this game, I don't think we had a Pokegear. Eventually, we decided to add that card so we actually get to, you know, draw out the Karen a lot faster. Play it after our opponent has drawn 2 or even 3 prize cards. That actually allows us 40, you know, even if it's just 40 damage boost, it could actually add up for a V-Star knockout. Because Bursting Needles, like Bursting Needles, I don't need to explain myself more than that. That ability could actually be lethal. Like, don't underestimate it. Do not underestimate Qwilfish. So unfortunately, you can't really play Overquill with Single Strike Qwilfish, because it only evolves, obviously, from Hisuian Qwilfish, and this one is actually not Hisuian. Because the Hisui region wasn't created back in Chilling Reign. Okay, right now we're up against a Lost Box. They have Raikou, but they're actually playing Mirage Gate combo with Dragonite as well. So Dragon Gale is doing 250 damage. They don't really need that much damage, but it's actually helping them tank against a single price deck. So they may not be expecting us to do, you know, big damage with Qwilfish. We got Karen for a last minute surprise KO against a V Pokemon. So they better be watching out. They got Cramorant though, so we should not be letting our guard down either. Cramorant is only doing 110 damage, so we could at some point attack with the Kingambit. But for this game though, we have no double turbo. This is one of the earliest builds of my Kingambit Qwilfish combo. And at some point, I decided to add double turbo for Sneasler and also Kingambit to attack as well, giving us the extra flexibility for the deck, so that we actually get, you know, an extra fluid element to the deck, helping us attack with not just the Qwilfish, because we only have one Rescue Carrier as well. Obviously, if you attack with the Sneasler, you don't get the damage boost from your single strike combos. If you attack with Kingambit, you don't get to use Leadership to add 30 damage to its own attack. So if you play the Stage 2 Pokemon, if you attack with it, you're not, you know, adding 30 damage with its own ability. Obviously, but we have Choice Belt and also Defiance Band for our Kingambit. We got the Poison effect with our Sneasler. So Poison Jab, Sneasler also has the Poison Jab attack, which is similar to Qwilfish, except it needs more energy and is doing a little bit more damage than the Qwilfish. So here comes the Comfy. They're starting to lose cards for them to play the Mirage Gate. They're probably going to do Cramorant right now. If they attack with the Spit Innocently on the first turn, which is, you know, kind of what Lost Box do. If they kill Qwilfish right now, we're kind of screwed, because we didn't get our Bidoof, we didn't get Bibarel, we have no Jaw Engine, we have no, you know, a second attacker on the bench. We got nothing. If they somehow switch and attack with Raikou as well, they may be able to kill off our Qwilfish. And then we would be down to nothing. We got no cards in play. We did the Rare Candy evolution early, but we did not get the VIP Nest Ball for our Bidoof, which is very unfortunate. So they did Escape Rope, so I don't think they can kill off the Kingambit so easily, but they are forcing us to get trapped. Let's hope we get an Escape Rope. But I feel like, yeah, Nest Ball is actually going to help us a lot more, because we definitely need the draw engine. We need our draw support is way more crucial than the switch, because even if we attack right now, we got nothing to draw cards on the next turn. We're totally screwed. We should be focusing more on the Bibarel line. So no boss, we're safe. So Kingambit unfortunately is not doing anything for this game, but at least we are stalling with it, helping us buy some time for us to get, you know, our evolutions out before we actually get to set up our supports. So you need your supports, you need Bibarel, Skwovet, you also need the Gambit for the damage boost, and Sneasler as well. So that means a good setup is going to help you, you know, build the damage a lot faster. If you have a good setup, obviously you can draw cards a lot smoother. It helps you sail through the game a lot faster. And, you know, you can attack without stop. You can get your flow going. And it's kind of easier for you to play. So definitely a good setup is what we should be aiming for, but against a Lost Box, as we all know, they have Fog Crystal, they have Level Ball. They would definitely be, it would be definitely a lot easier for a Lost Box to bench their Pokemons to get a good setup as opposed to any other deck, especially if you're playing a Stage 2. Like, it's no competition. There's no competition, there's no doubt. They are winning the setup because they're playing a full basic deck. They have no evolutions. Look at that. 0 evolutions. We got Bibarel, we got Kingambit, and that's it. Like, that's all the excuse they need for us to not get anything. No VIP, no Nest Ball in the first turn, nothing. We're stuck. Lost Box is impossible. I hate it so much. It's just making the game unplayable. You're not allowed to play Stage 2 cards. You're not allowed to play any evolutions. You're not allowed to have any support Pokemons above a Stage 1. It's ridiculous. So boring, so lame. Like, why are they making Lost Box so hyper consistent, so hyper turbo? Like, they can obviously hit 110 damage on the first turn, killing off our Qwilfish early, and then we're left with nothing. If they kill off Qwilfish on the first turn just now, we would be left with nothing. Like, how ridiculous is that? Come on. Why are they making this game so limiting? So narrow. So for this game though, we actually have 2 Bisharp and 3 Kingambit, if I'm not mistaken. We got 3 Pawniard, 3 Kingambit, and 2 Bisharp with 3 rare candies. So we have way too much, we're focusing too much on the Stage 2 evolution, and that's the reason we're actually not able to set up that easily. We don't have as much basic summons as we would like. And that's more important in the game. Obviously, you know, benching your basics early is definitely way more important than evolving fast. Especially if you need those draw support. If you need your Bibarel, if you have not much supporter cards in the deck, if you're relying on nothing but Bibarel to draw cards, you have to add enough balls to bench your basics. You have to add enough Ultra Ball to evolve it as well. You need a lot of ways to search for those cards. If you don't do it fast enough, you're screwed. If you don't get Bibarel out early, you are done. We have nothing but Bibarel to fall back on for the draw support. We also have 1 Serena and 1 Arven, but that's it. So that's why we have a lot more balls now. We got an extra Great Ball and a Level Ball, and that's making a huge difference. It's making the deck a lot easier to play, and that's saying a lot. So I think I'm just going to end the voiceover right here, leave you guys focus on the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Today we're featuring the new Kingambit from Scarlet and Violet with the leadership ability, helping us do 30 more damage with our single strike Qwilfish, also adding the damage with single strike energy and Karen's Conviction, plus the poison damage counter using Radiant Sneasler for the extra damage counter. We even got Bursting Needles to place extra damage counters after they knock out our Qwilfish in the exit spot with damage from their attack, helping us collect big knockouts late game using Karen's Conviction for even more damage. So that's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next time. Have a great day and bye for all the people. Enjoy life.